Okay, part two, and probably the final part of the top 10 states in US population versus the bottom 40. So this war isn't looking so great for the bottom 40. They've lost 7 states already, and they're 7 of the biggest states. And now but they have captured Houston. However, the blue team has started pushing back, and they re-liberated Houston. And instead of stopping, they actually pushed into Oklahoma. They surrounded the troops there, and they took Oklahoma. And now a major front was set up here, and they tried pushing up here. They started a push into Arkansas and Louisiana. They took Arkansas, put New Orleans under siege, and kind of just stayed there. This was actually bad because the Florida front had started pushing back down here in Pensacola. They were able to re-liberate the whole state, and then they also were able to take Mobile and this coast in Mississippi. So these two forces did link up, and because they were linked up, they were able to just take New Orleans. This is bad because now it means all of these forces are linked up, and only a tiny bit separates them from the main thing. Now that they have this, these two states are going to actually try to push into Cascadia. So they push up from here, and they take Portland, and Seattle's a bit harder to take. They trap all the troops, put Seattle under siege, but eventually the city does fall, making another major defeat. Now for one final blow, these troops, New York and Pennsylvanian troops, push into New Jersey, take Trenton, and then Newark is kind of naturally under siege, and they take all of New Jersey. This marks the largest state to be defeated for the red team. And up here, troops from Oklahoma start pushing up into Kansas. They take it, and they're able to take Kansas City. And they take Kansas City and start pushing into Missouri. They take Kansas City, Kansas. They push into Missouri, reach up with the Illinois front, and then keep pushing. St. Louis is surrounded, but the city's put under siege, which kind of just stays. In the south, Mississippi and Alabama can't fight these 3 fronts, so they both fall, as well as Tennessee. And with these states surrounded, they kind of just all fall, as there isn't really much they could do. And now, with really only this area of the red team left, they kind of just go with a surrender. Actually, no, they don't surrender. They fight. Technically, Bismarck is their capital, but Denver and Milwaukee and Minneapolis and Salt Lake City are the main cities left. So they hope they can defend these cities. However, a force from Illinois is able to take Milwaukee and Wisconsin Falls, as well as push into Minneapolis, St. Paul, marking the effective collapse of this, I guess, Eastern Front, as the major cities have been lost. All the rest of the troops, which were defending those cities, basically fall. Troops from the west push into Idaho, and they take Montana and Wyoming. The government flees Bismarck and is able to reach Denver. Then the blue team pushes down along this, cutting these two fronts off. And then they invade Utah, which is pretty much wasteland, until eventually taking Salt Lake City. And then Denver gets surrounded. The Battle of Denver is so now there's really only two cities left for the red team. There's Denver and then St. Louis, which the siege has kind of just stayed. So first of all, the troops at St. Louis surrender because they realize the war is basically over. And the troops at Denver, much of Colorado lives like on this side of the state. So no, that doesn't work. So a lot of the troops push into there. The city of Denver is put under siege, and the city eventually falls, marking the surrender of the red team. And the top 10 states by population have won this war, and they have taken over the whole country. There also isn't really a peace treaty again in this, because, I mean, there can't really be a peace treaty. They kind of just take the whole thing, but they keep the whole state border thing, whatever. Yeah, they keep all the state borders, so the post-war world kind of just looks like this. The same as the old world looked like. DC has made the capital again, and yeah, that's it. The top 10 states in population win, and that is probably what would happen in real life. Nothing else is realistic, though. Okay, yeah, that's it.